Isaiah Yeo. The very first Panther to reach 250 games for the club. More than Steve Carter, then Craig Gower, more than the legendary Royce Simmons, and our very own Brandy, Greg Alexander.
When we've got the ball, okay, everything's clear, right? Comms all the way through, from outside in, okay, and just everything's over the outline. Just push, support, shove, okay, and just see where that gets us, okay? Right, it's not going to be perfect, all right, but it's how we react in those little moments. Be sweet?
Isaiah Yeo.
The ultimate Panthers warrior surges over.
With Nathan Cleary, he's co-captained all 4 grand final wins.
Unstoppable.
Played 14 times for the Blues. And that's right, captained the Kangaroos in last year's Pacific Championships triumph. And he's still only 30.
Hey, really good there, okay? Just show a little bit of resilience, okay? Had to go another 7-6.
Having debuted in 2014 as a 195-centimetre centre three-quarter.
Leads the Panthers to the front here tonight.
From the Rugby League production line, that is Dubbo, New South Wales Central West. His old man, Justin, was a centimetre taller, 196, and a dead ringer. He played for Norse and the Tigers. They say he never let anyone down. Like father, like son.
Welcome to NRL 360 Rugby League from every angle. Joining me, the great Gordon Tallis, Been the Journo, Australian James Hooper and Dave Riccio. And Isaiah Yeo becomes first Panthers player ever to play 250 games for the Panthers. And it's quite the surprise, but what a magnificent achievement by Isaiah Yeo.
Great opening there by Matty Nable and all those great players at Penrith that he surpasses. I never would have thought a centre to, and just the way his game is growing. No matter what level he goes to, he's one of the best players on the field. What a player. He's only 30, so where he gets to, he's pretty durable as well. But congratulations. And it's not the 250, right? Like when people talk about numbers, Arthur Beetzer played 1 for Queensland, and that sticks with us all the time. It's how many good games he's played for Penrith. It's not just running out for 250. He's played a lot of quality games for him.
It's fitting, Gordy, given all the blood, sweat and tears that he's put into that jumper. He's a great role model off the field. And then the way he's evolved, like he began his career in the centres. He played 1 game on the wing. Then he was in the second row for a number of seasons. And he actually didn't move to lock until the 2020 season, which is when Penrith have gone on this run of 5 straight grand finals.
He plays like a backup halfback, doesn't he? Really, when things go pear-shaped with Nathan, or Nathan has to come off the field, in comes Isaiah and plays this brilliant ball-playing style. The greatest respect you can give Isaiah Yeo comes from the legends that are so many from Penrith, Royce Simmons, Greg Alexander, Brad Fittler. So many of them speak as Isaiah Yeo will go down as the greatest Panther of all time.
That's what surprises me. There's so many legends of the club that have played there for a long period of time. For him to be the first to hit 250, it caught me off guard a little bit. And you're right, Gordy, the quality in which he's played nearly every one of those games, the transformation, the evolution. When you first watched him play in the centres for the Penrith Panthers, there is not one person that could possibly have predicted where this guy was trending and where he was heading in his career and the player that he's become. I mean, it's not only his performances on field, it's his leadership. His leadership is just, even the way he carries himself on the field. He's quite a humble guy too. It's an incredible achievement, isn't it, Hoops, really?
Oh, look, it's a fantastic achievement. I remember going to Panthers training, would have been about 2015, and you did notice him because he was a tall unit and he stood out, and we were asking questions because we weren't sure too much about his background. They said, look, he's come from Dubbo, he's tough, his old man was a good footballer, had played for Balmain. And they weren't sure what his best position was going to be. But to your point, BA, he evolved his game and he's clearly worked extremely closely with Ivan and Nathan Cleary to get it where it is today. But you talk to plenty of forwards and he's certainly not underrated by anybody in the game.
Well, let's stick with the Panthers. And Ivan Cleary has had a lot to do with Isaiah Yeo and his performance and where he is at the moment. You've spoken to Ivan. What's happening out there at Penrith?
Yeah, guys, look, absolutely. Spoke to him earlier this week, and very candid, quite honest was Ivan about the current predicament of the Panthers, where they are. 13th on the NRL ladder, guys. Like, just unheard of where we think of the Penrith Panthers. Defensively, leaking 28.5 points a game, like completely un-Penrith. And throughout this 4-week period, we've seen injury after injury start to eat away at the Panthers. Ivan has described it as one of his great challenges since being appointed head coach of Penrith at this point in time. And I got the sense what he was talking about there is it's much harder to stay on top than it is to climb from the bottom. And that's where Ivan sees the challenge, that everyone's coming for them. They've got some chinks now. You can't deny it. They've been leaking player after player. And he knows that this will be one of his greatest tests to try and resurrect what has been a sluggish start to their season.
Did you sense, does he think he knows that he's got all the pieces of the puzzle and he's just got to put it back together?
I think for the first time, Gordy, Ivan's understanding of how long these guys have been up for. Isaiah Yo's a great example. Through a 5-year grand final campaign, he's played in Origins, World Club Challenges, Test matches. So end of season Test matches. Your pre-season start later. And you can only jam so much in. The elite players of Nathan and Dylan Edwards and Isaiah. And I just wonder now, are we starting to see a little bit of fraying of those elite players because they've been up for so long?
They don't have the depth that they've had, over the past 4 or 5 years with players leaving because of the salary cap and because of the success that they've had. They've also had injuries in key positions, which you can't have in that when you've got that situation. Cleary goes down, misses the Melbourne game early, misses last week. Edwards out. He's been their most consistent performer, for a number of years now. So you just can't afford that, as a top grade team or an elite team to have those interruptions now, because they don't have the depth that they used to have. And we were all a little bit concerned, first show really, about whether they sort of fall off the cliff this year. And I wouldn't say they've fallen off the cliff, but they're certainly not looking like they have past seasons.
I still think they're going to be okay, Braith, based on that. As long as Nathan, Dylan Edwards, Mitch Kenny, those key position players, Isaiah Yeo, Moses Leota, are all on the field and they're there come September, then I still think they're absolutely playing finals football. But it probably is the biggest challenge for Ivan Cleary since he signed with Penrith, because it was a big deal. The West Tigers had to pay a transfer fee for him to join the club. There were off-field challenges when he arrived at the time. They didn't make the finals in his first season, and then he's since gone on to create this dynasty. But I would say at this point in time right now, this is his biggest challenge.
To add to all of this, and something that I think's been underestimated, is the switch to CommBank. Now, Penrith Park was a fortress for them. They've hardly lost games there season after season. They've gone to CommBank, albeit they've only played a couple of games there, but that's going to continue. But a different atmosphere, not as many crowd, I believe. Have you got a...
Braith, I think it's an absolute factor. Look, we might be only scratching on the surface to this point because they've only played that one home game so far against the Roosters, but only 12,000 fans turned up, right?
Isn't it only 20 minutes down the road?
20 minutes, it is.
It's 20 minutes down the road, and they're not going to watch a dud footy side.
No, but there is something there's something for the people of Penrith and the surrounding areas.
I get
it. It is an awesome experience going to Penrith Park.
Yeah,
like the way that the club has set it up there. I'm with you, Gordy. It is only 20 minutes down the road, so it's not that much of a challenge, but it is a unique experience going to that venue at the foot of the mountain.
So 12,000 turn up to CommBank against the Sydney Roosters, guys. It's a Sydney team.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Roosters fans don't always travel.
They're not travellers. Friday night, 6 o'clock, all right? This Friday night, 6 o'clock against the Cowboys. Now, I'm fascinated to see if Penrith fans have got any reason whatsoever to get out there, it's for Isaiah Yeo. But I think this is a factor that we may see play out, that they're not running out to Hell's Bells packed at Penrith Park with the Panther scowl.
But hang on,
Hold on. I'll buy them the CD and I'll send it out there.
They still play Hell's Bells at CommBank.
It's, mate, the atmosphere...
It's still an NRL game.
The atmosphere is not the same.
No, the atmosphere is not the same. I'll give you that, Dave. It's still an NRL game. There's still two competition points.
The stadium doesn't make it. The people in the stadium make it.
Well, they're not getting
so we saw COVID. We saw COVID and we saw Suncorp. It wasn't a great atmosphere, was it? So it's the people that walk in the venue. And if you're a Penrith fan, you should get there 20 minutes away to watch this great team play.
All right, now, Ivan loves the theme each year. Is he running out of ideas? Does he have a theme for this year?
Well, look, he spoke about that, and we they have had the undisputed tag, Top Gun. We saw.
Top Gun.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, they tapped into that Top Gun movie
Danger
theme.
Zone?
That's right, all that.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins.
He passed away today, Val Kilmer, by the way.
He did. Last
R.I.P.
season it was Mana, the Pacific Nations tribal theme, and look, he says it's too early to start coming up with themes. They usually come up with something later in their run to the finals.
Struggling with a theme.
The thing is, guys,
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Gordon, you might be able to speak to this.
Oh, I don't know.
You might be able to speak to this,
There you
right?
go.
One of the factors is they don't have that retiring player this year, guys, and it's been a factor.
Oh, give me a
and getting.
Mate, St.
You're
George
kidding.
had one. Brian Smith come up with one living
You
on a
don't
prayer,
need-
and I've only ever had one in my 14 years, and I didn't really like a theme. The theme is work hard and go out there and try your
You
best.
aren't going to play that little bit harder for your best mate who's finishing up at the club to try and win a premiership with him.
Absolutely you do.
Yeah.
But then that's the theme. It's not a song. It's not
The
that.
theme has worked though, Gordy, over the
The
past few
theme's
years.
up, yeah, but they've also had a champion roster for the last 4
The
years.
theme
I
or
like
the
the
team?
theme.
Well,
Did you just say that with
I
the
like
list?
Top Gun.
I'll say this, Bray.
Theme or team?
The losing grand final team also have a theme, I'm pretty sure, and we don't hear about it because they've lost.
Yeah, okay. Well,